Everybody wants to feel like they're significant. Everybody wants to belong somewhere. I'm not going to sell myself to belong anywhere. If you can't accept me who I am, if you can't accept how I am, if you can't accept me for who I will be becoming and evolving, then we can't sit at the same table.
You are here. Welcome to the Purpose Finder podcast. This is the show where we uncover why you are truly here and, more importantly, how to make it your reality. My father, the late Dr. Miles Monroe, said the greatest tragedy in life is not death, but life without purpose. And research further shows that people with a strong sense of purpose are 2.4 times more likely to feel fulfilled. Each week, I sit down with extraordinary guests, entrepreneurs, artists, thought leaders who are boldly living their why. We dive deep into their journeys, the struggles they have overcome, their breakthroughs, and the lessons that can help you do the same. I am your beautiful host, Charisa Munroe-Wilborn, and we're about to explore the mindsets, tools, and strategies to help you live a life with purpose, passion, and legacy. Are you ready? Let's go and dive into the episode.
Welcome back. We are here for another great, awesome, fantastic episode of the Purpose Finder podcast. It is our first episode of a new year, and I am excited. Our mission still remains the same. I am here, my guests are here. We are all here to inspire you, our listeners, to uncover your life's purpose and to live a life overflowing with three things: meaning, fulfillment, and significance. In this life, we are all craving belonging. None of us want to feel unfulfilled. And we are all continuing to search that big question: why in the world am I here? Again, I hope that you let your answers be found right here on this podcast. I am your host, Charisa Munroe-Wilborn, and it is going to be a wonderful episode today. I'm so excited. I'm going to share. As we were coming out of last year, I shared kind of my journey on how I digress and how I conclude the year. And now I have all this excitement on how I'm starting a new year. And someone asked me a question at the end of last year. I was sitting at a dinner table and they asked myself, but also the other 20 people at the table, what is one thing you are leaving in this year, and what is one thing that you're going to pick up in the year coming? And I thought it was a very unique and interesting question, and it made me think on, what am I picking up next year, Charissa? What are you picking up next year to become the person you want to become? What are you picking up to be unstoppable? What are you picking up to live the life that you're purposed and born to live? What are you picking up for the people that you're going to serve? And it made me think about, what are those 3, 4, 5 things that I'm picking up next year. And so I wanted to share mine, and I wanted to kind of encourage you guys to think about what you're picking up next year. You may share the same sentiments of mine, and that's perfectly fine. I think they can be generalized, but you may also add and think about, what are you picking up next year? So what are you picking up this year? What are you picking up? What have you started picking up? What are you going to pick up this year that's going to get you to the person that you know God has called you to? What are you picking up that's going to get you the results and the goals that you have set for your life? So I'm excited. It's not going to be a long episode at all, but it is going to be deep. It is going to be strong, because I'm going to be sharing with you what my 3 things that I'm going to pick up, because I've already thought about what I'm leaving behind. But what I'm picking up, to me at this moment, is so much more important. And my year started off very intentional. When I think about this, what I'm picking up, I had to be very intentional about my thinking, about my decisions. And so it's not going to be a casual beginning. This is like my moment of, intention. And these things that I'm setting forth at the beginning of the year is me setting my intention for the year. So I encourage you, what intention are you setting? Because how you start the year, it may not necessarily be how you finish. but it's definitely going to set the tone for the process and the journey that happens in between starting and ending. And it's not just about what you're going to stop doing, but it's about what are you deliberately and intentionally going to pick up and then carry forward. And so I'm going to talk about three essential things that I'm going to be picking up. And these are non negotiables for this year. These are things that I am picking up right now. Like I said, I encourage you to share them. If you want to come up with your own, that's fine. Just make sure you're picking up something different from last year. And even and this is not to say that you didn't have a great year last year, but if this year can be better and you can do that by doing something new and picking up something different, why not? Why not? We don't want to go into this year blind. We don't want to start this year just kind of wayward and haphazardly. We want to be intentional. We're not going to start a trend. I don't want to start a trend here. I'm not necessarily thinking about resolutions either. These are just things and essential things to me that I've made non-negotiable that I'm picking up. And in short forms, I'm going to give you the three things and then I'm going to talk about them individually. But in short form, the first one is identity. The second one is about obedience. And the third one is about emotional freedom. I know, right? I really give it a thought, but my identity has become very important to me. And when I look at these three things, they're also very aligned with my values that I've created for my life in this season. And you may have heard me share in a previous episode, but in the last 5 years, I've gone through multiple identities. I was single and then I became a wife. Then I went from a wife to a mother. And I went from a mother of one to a mother of two. And then I'm also I have a small business. I'm a business owner. And so I have all of these identities that are a part of my life and who I am. And they may flow differently from time to time, but I'm still all these different things. And so my identity at the core, though, of who I am is still very important to me. And so when I think about what it is I'm picking up this year, like I really want to pick up awareness of who I am, and I'm picking up a larger self image. So that's one thing I'm picking up. I'm picking up a larger self image, and not only self image physically, like what you'll be able to see, but just a larger self image that identifies with who I am at my core. And it's going to be the first thing that I pick. I think I've already picked it up, to be very honest. I've already picked it up. I think I picked it up at the tail end of last year, to be very honest with you. And I hit this year running. I'm not talking about arrogance. I'm not talking about ego, but I'm talking about accurately viewing who I am becoming and being intentional about who I want to become. So I ask you, like this year, who do you want to become and who are you becoming? And are you willing to already pick up that version of you? So I'm starting to pick up that version of me that is going to stand very confident in any room that I'm in, no matter what I look like, no matter how I feel. And I say that, but even in sounding confident, I'm going to make sure that how I look and how I feel matches the confidence that I'm having. I'm going to pick up the version of me that honors the gift of apology, the gift of forgiveness, carrying the authority without needing permission or without needing approval. And I hope that this can resonate with some of you, because I know I'm not here alone. I know. Tell me in the chat, in the comment section, that I am not here alone. And I encourage you to also pick up that version of you that is going to trust calling what has already been confirmed in your life. And so I'm picking up a larger self image. And then I'm also going to work on my aesthetic, the outside image that's going to match the image of who I am on the inside. And that also means that I'm going to stop, negotiating with insecurity. We all have insecurities. We all have things about ourselves that we may not appreciate, we may not love, we may not like, but it's part of who I am. And so when I think about like my physical body, remember I just told you I'm a mother of two now. So when I say my body is not the body that I was used to and I'm used to 10 years ago, 9 years ago, I was looking at photos of me from 10 years ago. And it seemed like it was just a short time. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I looked like 10 years ago compared to what I look like now. And I remember who I was 10 years ago. I remember how I even got to that image. I remember how disciplined I was. I remember what my life was. I remember my circumstances. I remember the identities that I had during that time. Well, that's not who I am at the moment. That's not who I have became, and that's not who I am becoming. So I get to look at my physical image and love her, appreciate her, honor her because of what she has created. I've created two beautiful girls, and so it shows. I may have an extra stretch mark here. I may have a two extra dimples here. I may have a little extra flap over here. But when I look outside of me and I look down at two beautiful human beings that came out of this body, it forces me to look up and just thank God for choosing me to be their mother, to be their teacher, to be their confidant, their friend. And so I get to just enjoy that and say the image that I have now doesn't disqualify me for what's ahead. And so I get to stop um, hating. I get to stop disliking. I get to stop dishonoring. I get to stop trying to edit myself to be palatable to the eyes of the world and social media and what I should look like. And I get to just love who I am becoming. I get to stop pretending that I'm supposed to be looking a certain way. I'm supposed to feel a certain way. And I get to just be who I am capable of being. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm picking up a larger self image. And like I said, it have nothing to do with arrogance. It may have a whole lot to do with confidence though. And I won't apologize. I won't apologize for that. And this year I see for myself, like I see clearly. I see fear becoming very, very, very small in my life now. I see failure becoming the effects of failure I see becoming a lot smaller. Failure may be very much present all the time, but how it affects me, I see it not being a negative one. Um, and I just see that I see me picking up that confidence in my purpose. And so I will continue to have guests on this very podcast to share their story as they are picking up what they're picking up in their new year and becoming more of who they are becoming.
Hey, purpose seekers. If today's conversation has you thinking about your purpose, what it is, how to find it, and how to truly live it, then I have something special just for you. Introducing the Purpose Finder Formula. And you have free access to this 20-minute training designed to help you uncover your purpose and start living it with confidence. No fluff, no guesswork. It's clear, practical, step-by-step guide to finding meaning and gaining clarity and direction. Your purpose is calling. Are you ready? Head over to www.charisamunroe.com/purpose finder formula. Enter your info and I'll send it straight to your inbox. Imagine waking up every day knowing your life has meaning, impact, and joy. That's what awaits you. So don't wait. Grab your free training today. Let's get back to the episode.
Number two, I'm picking up immediate, unmatched obedience. I'm picking up immediate, unmatched obedience. And I'm talking about obedience to when God says move, I move immediately. When God says do this, I do it immediately without question, without delay. And it's the second thing I'm picking up because I found that in the years before, that wasn't the case. My obedience may have been delayed or not at all. And it didn't, I may have gotten close, but if abundance and possibilities are going to come at the helm of me being obedience right away, I would like to live that life. Um, the delayed obedience, the partial obedience, like no, I want full obedience with no excuses attached, like immediate obedience. So for those that may want to share the same sentiment of what you're going to pick up, immediate obedience sounds like when I know what to do, I move. When the instruction comes, I act. But I move immediately. I act immediately. When the clarity arrives, I respond immediately. And so this year, I don't get to wait. I don't want to wait to feel ready. And my parents died instantly, both of them going on 11, 12 years ago. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for them to be gone. I wasn't ready to accept this life that I now have. But turns out that I was very prepared. And so I walked into this year very prepared for what I have no idea what my next level is going to look like, but I know that there is going to be a next level. And so they pick up that larger self image. I need to know that, Charissa, that means that faith is going to be at the foundation of what you're doing. And you're going to have to be ready to say yes right away. You're going to have to be ready to move. You're going to have to be ready to act. You're going to have to be ready to respond. Are you? And I said yes. So I'm saying yes to that call of being ready, being obedient immediately. And move even when it doesn't feel good. Move when it doesn't feel good. Move when it doesn't feel right. But also move just when I feel led, especially when I feel led by the Holy Spirit, when I feel led by purpose, which is why purpose is so important, because it is going to be me focusing on my purpose that determines and that lets me know that what I'm doing or where I'm going is this direction and not that direction. And momentum lives on the other side of obedience. And so I would like to pick up. So my goal, one of my goal and desires is to pick up momentum. Well, I'm recognizing that if I want to pick up momentum, I need to pick up obedience. I'm going to have to be ready to go. I'm going to have to be ready to move. I'm going to have to be ready to, and without delay. And I say that because that wasn't always my case. It may not be the same for you, but what is that one thing that you would do with delay? Procrastination may be a thing for you. But what is it for you that hasn't gotten you the momentum, therefore the results that you've been wanting? And so this year is the year where I stop saying soon. Oh, one day, soon enough, you'll see. Like, this is my year of saying now. Like, now is the time. Now it's happening. Better yet, this is my year of, oh, that happened already. This is old news. So again, I ask myself, what do I already know I need to act on? And so we already started. And so number 3, the third thing I'm picking up is emotional authority. Emotional authority. And I smile when I say these because they really are just about, when you look at everything, they really are just about confidence, faith, and belief in who I am, in who's in me that's bigger than me, and in what's to come. And emotional authority is going to be so important. And some of you may be asking, well, what does that really look like, Charissa? What does that mean? And it just means like thinking clearly instead of spiraling. So just being clear in my thoughts versus what if, being negative Nancy. Like, nobody wants a negative Nancy. I don't want a negative Nancy in my life. But I want to be able to think clearly. And I want my clarity to come from purpose. I want my clarity to come from intention. I want my clarity to come from obedience. Emotional authority may also mean I respond instead of react. And then I'm proactive instead of reactive. I set boundaries without guilt. And I'm talking about setting boundaries with others, but also setting boundaries with myself without the thought of, well, if I do this, they may not like it, or maybe she may not like it, so I better not. Too bad, boo. If you don't like it, let me tell you something. I can't help you. However, because of the goals and because of where I'm going in life, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to do for myself and for those that I'm serving. Sorry, it doesn't feel good. That is what emotional authority feels like. That's what it sounds like. It's also may mean that you stop over giving and just to earn belonging. Like there are many times we please people because we want to belong. We give because we want to belong. Um, and everybody wants to feel like they're significant. Everybody wants to belong somewhere, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna sell myself to belong anywhere. If you can't accept me who I am, if you can't accept how I am, if you can't accept me for who I will be becoming and evolving, then we can't sit at the same table. Absolutely. And then it's also choosing peace without explanation. That's what emotional authority looks like. Again, it's all centered around confidence and obedience. It allows you to break cycles. We've all gone through cycles in life based on our past, based on the decisions that we may have made that weren't so healthy. Um, but nonetheless, we're getting to this place where we're going to break those cycles intentionally, not accidentally. We're going to break these cycles that just take us spiraling and doesn't get us anywhere. Like I want to break cycles of being okay with not setting my goal, with not meeting my goals, with not meeting my expectations. With I don't want to settle with having to apologize. No, what am I going to do differently that's going to make me meet my goals and it's going to put me in a place where I don't need to apologize, but I would have done something right the first time. And you no longer let patterns dictate new decisions. And so I've made a whole lot of courageous decisions last year, coming into this year. And that means I have to create new patterns. And I'm looking forward to what that new pattern is going to look like. And then I get to look at lessons. Like I love learning. And so in learning, I know that there are going to be situations where I don't know. And then I know there are going to be situations where I am tested and there are going to be lessons there. And that's just a part of the game that I've accepted. If I'm not learning, I can't be here. If I'm not learning, I can't teach. If I'm not learning, I can't lead. And part of that learning is being tested. I'm looking forward to it. And so when you think of emotional authority, think of no longer giving emotional access to people who are going to mishandle it. And let me tell you, I know I am not alone. We have all been there. And we have all willfully said, here, please take my emotions and beat it to shreds. We've all done that. Well, we get to take that back. And we get to pick up the emotional authority to say, you know what? I have given you the permission to mishandle my emotions. I'm not going to do it anymore. Thank you very much. May I take that back? Appreciate it. And then you get to go. And you get to start having authority and control over your emotions, over who you are becoming, over how you want to become and how you want to be treated. That's emotional. That's emotional authority. And so this is the year where you lead yourself emotionally. This is going to be the year where I lead myself emotionally, where I regulate myself, where I lead myself so that I can better lead others, especially when it comes to discipline, wisdom, compassion. Like I want to lead in those areas. And so I ask myself constantly, what emotional patterns do I need to do and do I need to adapt in this new year? And every time I ask that question, I understand. Okay, so it's this thing. Pick up authority. Pick up authority. So it's really the emotions are always there, but it's the authority over those emotions that I may have given to others. So those are my three things that I'm picking up this year, and they have everything to do with identity, obedience, and confidence. Identity, obedience, and emotional control. And so make sure you have decided what your 3, 4, 5, 1 thing is that you're picking up this year that would be different from next year. All right. It'll empower you. It'll give you more momentum, further momentum. It'll allow you to walk into this year with great, great intention. And so it's just my encouragement to you this year is not asking you to become someone new. It's just asking you to carry yourself differently. And if that means that you shed and become new, then absolutely. But just make sure that you do something differently to where you carry yourself differently. And then people get to see a new you, a larger you, a bigger you, which also means they get to see a bigger God. Like they get to see the bigger person on the inside of you who is giving you all of the capabilities, the talents, the reason for who and why you are. So pick up a larger self-image, pick up immediate obedience, and pick up emotional authority. Those three things, if you did adapt these three things, they will change the trajectory of your life of this year. They will change how you show up. They will change how you feel about yourself. They will change how people experience you. They will change the level of your momentum, and they will change how purpose is activated in your life. So as we go into this new year, I hope that you have a much greater, bigger year than you could ever expect, much bigger than you've been having in the years before. And you step into a year where you continue to become unstoppable. Make sure you continue to listen to the podcast, listen to the episodes, listen to the guests and the stories that you hear. And if any resonates with you and you find yourself saying, man, that was me, listen to how that person said they got out. Listen to how that person said they got through, and see how you can apply it to your life so that you can become the person that God created you to be. Not that you can become them, but God is waiting for you to believe in Him so that you can discover purpose, uncover purpose, and live your life boldly. This year is going to be another great year of beautiful guests. I'm going to be having more solo episodes where I'm talking and sharing a little bit about my life and my journey with you as well. So we're going to have another amazing, great year here on the Purpose Finder podcast. I hope you allow one thing to be applied to your life today that's going to change who you are becoming. Stay aligned, stay activated, and I promise you, you will be unstoppable. Again, I'm your host, Charisa Munroe-Wilborn of the Purpose Finder podcast. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap on this episode of the Purpose Finder podcast. I hope today's conversation lit a fire within you, because purpose isn't just something you chase. It is something you live every single day. If this episode resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more people on their journey to purpose. Let's continue the journey together. Join the Purpose Finder community on Facebook for exclusive insights, tools, and a tribe of purpose-driven people just like you. And remember, the two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. Your purpose isn't far off. It's already within you. It's time for you to uncover it and live it boldly. Until next time, stay inspired, stay intentional, and keep walking in your purpose.